All right. Good afternoon. I'm gonna talk to you gentlemen about going to college. Okay. The reason why that you should go to college and why college should not be an option, but something that's mandatory that you do in your life. Based on my background and my family, there are people in my family that did not attend college that have a very poor or low quality of life. And those that did not graduate high school are either impoverished or homeless. So, your life obstacles. Those that don't attend or don't graduate high school are likely to have more life obstacles than those that graduated high school or those that actually attended college. Right? And one of those things is poverty. Your biggest poverty population in the United States of America are people that did not graduate high school or did not complete a secondary education whatsoever. The pay, a person that did not graduate high school is likely over 5 decades to have lost $400,000 in comparison to somebody that graduated high school. In comparison to somebody that graduated college at an associate's degree level or a bachelor's degree level, that person then is in the millions of pay lost. So you can imagine already what that does to your quality of life. So the reason why they have these huge obstacles is because of unstable financial obligations. All right, and what I mean by that is that these people are taking on jobs that are not high school graduates. They're taking on jobs that do not turn over any type of good revenue where they can invest that money. More than likely, they're living paycheck to paycheck. Also, those jobs don't allow for extra benefits. So recruitment, no pay for that. Retirement, no pay for that. And then also, they're more likely to be laid off. And this is because those businesses that they work for at only a high school graduate level or non-high school graduate level, those businesses are already unstable. They're unlikely to be highly successful unless that person has actually graduated college themselves. But more than likely, if they're just working at a small end job like fast food restaurants and stuff like that, those jobs open and close at a drop of a dime. So again, not being a high school graduate can affect your quality of life. If you're 25 years and older and you have not graduated high school, you are definitely more likely to be homeless by the time that you're the age of 25 and beyond, or at least bouncing from home to home or shelter to shelter. So, the crime rate. Crime and education are interlinked. 80% of men in federal or state prison do not have a high school education. Failing to achieve a job that creates stability, security, and happiness will lead to deviant behavior. And this is why 80% of the men that are in federal or state prisons are non-high school graduates. So the demographic of high school dropouts can be associated with socioeconomic classes. Hispanics have the highest dropout rate. And according to the National Center of Education Statistics in 2016, they had a 13.6% chance of not completing high school. African Americans had a 7% chance, and Caucasians had a 5%. So what I did was I took the quality of life pretty serious, right? In order to help people understand why going to college should not just be an option. It should be something that you wake up and you already know that you have to do this. I took the bank rate calculator off of bankrate.com to equate mortgage payments and compared them with the education level of the median earnings of people that had either a high school diploma, an associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree. And this is some of the things that I found. A high school graduate's median earnings was $700 a week, which came out to be about $36,000 a year. $36,000 seems like, okay, that's a decent amount of money. However, when you think about this, $150K or $150,000 home at a 4.5 interest rate over 30 years will require you to earn 32.5 in a year. So as a high school graduate, if you're only earning 36K and you can only afford a home that's 32.5, that means that you cannot miss any work whatsoever. And also, you cannot take on any extra financial obligations. This is also excluding car note, car insurance, food, other miscellaneous expenses, and not to include sick days off of work where you're not going to get paid. All right. This also excludes HOA fees, so homeowners association fees, and other things that will make you lean heavily on your finances. Right? Homes at $150,000, it sounds like a great home, but those are typically in your neighborhoods that have higher crime rates. And since you probably wouldn't get a home at $150,000, you're probably going to get a home of lesser value than that in order to make that buffer. So you're definitely going to find yourself with your quality of life living in a place where you probably really don't want to live, that's not quite as secure. With an associate's degree, the median earnings of a person was $799 a week. And that jumped to $46.3K a year. Okay? So a $210,000 home at 4.5 over 30 years is what that person could afford at 45.6K earnings of a year. So again, that gap between what you earn and how much your house is worth is very, very slim. So you don't have any room for error when it comes to your job. Those neighborhoods are slightly more secure, but they still have a high probability rate of having criminal activity. Minus the expenses of normal bills also. So your normal bills, your gas, your water, your lights, all of that's not included. So again, earning a degree is very, very, very important, and not just stopping at an associate's degree. A bachelor's degree, a person with a bachelor's degree earned about $1.2 thousand a week, which came out to about $62,000 a year. At 4.5 over 30 years, that person could afford a $280,000 home. But again, that home will cost them about $61.5 thousand of earnings in a year. Lesser crime rate, more secluded, and also better district for public schools for your kids. So when thinking about that, a bachelor's degree should be the very minimum of where you want to go with your education. You shouldn't want to just stop at an associate's degree. You shouldn't just stop at high school. So as military personnel, you have to equate to the fact that if you retire at 20 years, you get your retirement pay. And then if you graduate with your bachelor's degree and you're earning $62.5K a year, on top of your retirement pay, let's say the average person retires as a Sergeant First Class earning about $2.5 a month. Your retirement pay plus how much you're going to make on your next job is going to be very, very, very plentiful for your lifestyle. So at the end of the day, education is linked to your quality of life. Unless you like being poor, unless you like being broke, unless you like living from paycheck to paycheck, I would highly advise that if you are not enrolled into college right now, that you're enrolled into college. It is an investment. It's not just an investment into yourself, but it's also a lucrative investment. When you get out of the military, that degree will pay dividends. Thank you for your time.